Singlehood, being independent.
What to? Be or independent. Independence.
Independence.
Independent?
Independent?
We are young, we run green, we got tea, nice and clean. See our friends, see the sights, feel alright.
Hi guys! Good afternoon, good evening sa lahat ng mga naan dyan. We're here, we're back. Another episode will be tackled. So this evening, we'll be going to talk about singlehood and aspiring parenthood in 30s. Why we come up of this topic ba? We're both in our, late 20s. So we're gonna be discussing anong nangyari sa amin after college and right now on our 22 years of age, where are we heading on our life and what are the things that we're doing in our late 20s? So to start with, first question. If you had to describe your single life right now in one word, what would it be? Me first?
Yeah.
Sige. I go first. One word that best describe my singlehood this time around is being independent.
What to? Be independent. Or independent. Independence.
Independence.
Independent?
Independent? Dependent.
Blessed. Ano na
Okay.
lang. Mine is classic. Anong classic?
Ay, one word. One
Mikai, liberating. Actually, same ra siya. Different words siya.
Next question. When you were younger, how did you picture your life at 30 and how different is it today?
Ako kay katong 15 years old man siguro ko.
Okay.
15 years old, I always say 10 years from now kay minyo na ko. Parang ano ba, kanang mangutan bitaw. Kano sa ka gusto maminyo ako? 10 years from now siguro. So 25 guys. 25 na gusto mo ko lakilak mo ako.
I think you were, mourning for a breakup.
Yeah, I think murag amot lang asa ko ato. When I was younger, abi na ako by 30 kay married na ko, having my own family, settled. Kana I know nga kanang na-figure out na ni mong life ba. You know what you want and where you're headed to. So next.
Me, I envisioned myself when I was young, in my 30s, lawyer na ko. So, moto, things happened along the way na wala na ko siya na-achieve pa. But I'm still open to the opportunity or to the chance na mahimong lawyer. But I don't know if time comes, then so be it. Yun lang.
As for me, remember na ko tong college days na ko, I was with my blockmates, tapos marag ka nang na may conversation while walking ba, when will be the time we would be getting married kami. So ako, remember na ko akong answer, siguro ako 28, magbinyo na ko, ana. And then, as mentioned by Oyel, marag naingon niya na, he thought he would be a lawyer by 30 na. I remember also having this dream na 28, I think settled na pud ko with pursuing this career in law. But then, ni-negotiate pa gani ko ato kasi I said na, i-change ko, hindi na lang 28, 32. For 30, siguro, I have envisioned myself back then na ako'y stable partner. So, unfortunately, sorry, but, on the other hand, different things have been different. So, it's not always what we planned. So, yun, that's my journey right now.
Okay. I could remember gyud wala jud ko vision of being parents or married. But when I was in 5th grade, that was the time na nag-eskwela ko sa abroad. So I thought in 30 years old ko, naanak ko dito. But here I am still at the Philippines.
Next question. So we're done with the warm-up questions. Warm up, yes! Now, we'll proceed to the on-singlehood topics, okay? First question. What's the best part about being single in your late 20s or early 30s? What's the hardest part?
Best and
Best
hardest.
is the freedom, actually. The freedom gyud.
I think that's the best, pero the hardest daw.
Hardest?
The best and the hardest in between.
Okay. The best
Is
is
the freedom. The hardest.
I think the hardest, actually, nothing's, for me I I love it so much na for me walay hardest. But
Aw.
if isipon ako siya for in the perspective of other people, I think hardest is siguro anxious ang uban kung kanus ilang time.
Pressure.
Yeah, the pressure.
pressure.
But for me, not applicable.
Okay. Okay, sana all. Okay. The best is, yes, the freedom, ang time to actually spend it all on yourself. So, sa ako ang most of my 20s was spent by myself, no? Back then, kay early in my 20s, Murag, I thought na I've always been independent. But it maybe took me more than 5 years or 6 years or 7 years pa siguro to know na iba din pala yung independent na you're used to being alone to practicing your independence where you make decisions, big decisions. The hardest would be pag 10 p.m. kay mag-relapse ko. Honestly, bakit ako mag-pretend pag 10 p.m. yung yearning? So, sometimes mamiss mo yung feeling to share things with someone special.
The best part sa being single, kay, you're capable of doing everything. While the hardest part for me is juggling finances while being single. Kasi kag bayad sa imuhang gusto kay syempre single ka, and then you want yourself to be happy kay single lagi ka, pero later on day in your life nating ma-realize nimo nga oh shit dakon di kay ko gasto sa akong pagka-single.
The best part of being single in my 30s, Kai, I said it's liberating because my money is mine. I get to spend it how I want it without being guilty. Tapos, aside sa finances is, my time is also, kanang ako'y magbuot pa. Alangan mag-work gihapon, but kanang how you spend it, kanang no pressure nga. Dapat mauli ko kay na ako'y kids or something, someone's waiting. Hardest, wala man guys. Mid-20s ko, kana ako ang hardest sa yearning and kada 10 p.m. na mag-relapse. Pero I got past that stage ba. Kanang, even if wala ko ka-relationship karon, I think if kay fully healed na ko, kailan ko, I just go out when I want. Gani, like Earls, we just go out when we want, kanang, go home when we want. Yeah, akong partner sad kay, kanang, not requiring so much time. So, mura gyapon kog single, pero I know someone is there looking out for me.
Next is, do you feel like singlehood is a choice, a season, or a mix of both?
I think first it's a season. First it's a season kay kanang katong young ta gusto jud betam ka uyab ana ba murag na ang longing, then karon nang na-experience na to ang good things about that season, being single season kay maging choice na dayon ta, di ba? Your choice pod. So mix of both gyapon, but it's a process pod at the same time.
For me, choice ang pagka-single kay sa bayot nga perspective guro kay di ba dili man gud tanan bayot halinon ana good, so you opt to become i-choose na lang gyud nimo nga i-love imong self kaysa man i-love ka sa someone nga dili gyapon ka love.
Gusto ka,
Oo.
nga na-adjud always.
Ako maka-answer ka yan as a Libra. Kailangan jud mi nga to have someone na belong ka to someone. Diba? So, I think sa kasabot ko kay Yel, if na siya choice to have someone, na-jud siya someone always.
Do you ever feel judged or pressured for still being single at this age?
Judged, I think. Kay dili siguro not in the deeper level, but people would ask nga no. I think curious lang pud sila nga no. Especially from someone na single, no kids, no pets, no anything. Diba? Ano magud sila? Nowadays, you should define what is your kind of single. But I don't feel judged and I don't feel pressure.
Grandmothers, married young, so ngayon sila, so ko sa mong age, na nakoy 7 ka anak. Okay, yours na. Laling nga sa una at.
Walay matcha cross.
Walay podcast sa diba? So, I also,
brush off na lang nimo.
oo, kanang, I often got asked, pero wala mo dira. Unsa ka-liberating at this age na money, na naka-freedom, maraming ano ba. So, imong money kay at dayon not wala mo ko no shade ha pero ako lang nga murag I get to spend it to myself.
Judge, no. Pressured, yes. Especially if you are surrounded by a group or your friends na have always looked forward on getting married. But sa aming group ngayon, one is already getting married in November. So, of course, as bridesmaids, nag-prepare na din kami for it. And you get to really feel the pressure. Somehow, being surrounded by other groups also, especially din sa diving namin, na I don't feel pressure pag kasama ko yung group na they don't feel pressure or they don't really talk about it so much na it takes most of their time, no? Whereas kapag you are surrounded by this kind of group na always talking about kids, of marriage, ikaw ma-feel mo pressure and then you feel sometimes na behind already. Doon mo lang naman ma-feel ang pressure. Kaya parang it's also important to be with a group of friends na you are at the same phase sa same phase sa life nyo. Kasi parang if I'm pressured in this group, at least parang there's another group na I can turn to ba na parang we can share the same hindi man frustrations pero the same feelings about things.
We're done with singlehood topics. Kay ko answer kay murag. Sige, ani na lang. What pressure wala ko na.
Wala ka na, Josh. Okay, good.
Though na yung mga questions pero I don't feel that way
tama.
nga. I'll just put it this way. Maybe regardless if it's because of the sexuality or not, generally males don't have biological clock. So murag di gid kayo siya pressure sa amuang part. So if na may mga questioning kanang anong wala pa ka nagbinyo, I'll go with Ella's answer na gina-brush off lang nako siya so murag dili kay nako ma-feel nga judged. So yun. Next question or next subtopic is on kids and family dreams. Kids, yes. Family dreams, no. Joke.
Wala pa din dreams sa family.
Okay, so first question. Do you still see kids in your future? Has your timeline or vision shifted? Start?
Okay, go.
So, do you see, I see still kids in my future and nang gibutangan ako og timeline akong self na before 30 or when I get to my 30th birthday, dapat na nakoy anak. Adoption lang gid ay ang ako ang adoption lang. Yes, no, I cannot. It's too expensive. So mo to, if regardless of the gender, basta na bata, I'll go with it. So yun. Family, no.
I think on karon I'm not seeing it because if I would have kids, I want to have a partner man good. So it's for me kung mag-anak ko, I want it to be with someone who loves me and I love.
Naagi ko sa time like mga 25, 26, 27 anak. I don't want any. It was when I kanang completely healed ako sa heartbreak. So I don't want to go through it again. Pili ko kay if akong tanaw sa mga lalaki ato na time, gina-objectify ang women. So if ako to deal with again sa mga lalaki, di na lang ko. Maging single na lang ko. Rather than being married but being problematic. Pero karon guys, if you found the right person, kaysa una ko maging married because of the idea of wedding. Ang wedding, ba? But karon ganahan ko kason because ganahan ko sa person. Excited ko what lies ahead, nga mag-share mig decision duha, ganahan nami nga mo go at least bawal man ko mag-abroad or maglaag baya. So, excited ko nga we'll try new things with him. Pero kids, wala lang may nag-pressure sa akong self. Anak to siya basin baog or something. Ano lang, basta sa uban with duha. Anak, among idea karon. So, anything may happen on say plan ni Lord, basta okay lang, basta uban with duha. Basta okay na ko no kids or with. Basta kauban lang. Timeline ako sa self, maybe kung gusto jud me kay 2 or 2:35 yun. Ano ako sa papa, 35 na ko ano ko siya. Uy, meron pag ikaw magpaskila. Kung gusto ko mag-kids ka nang ready na gyud ka nang plan, gyud tanan baka nang. But one thing is for sure, family, yes, kids depende ni Lord.
Napod ako ang sentiment same kay Ella. Murag partner, okay, but kids, kung nana, pero kung wala pod. But then, it also takes someone, especially for men, no, na they will accept you even if wala kay mahatag sa ilahan na kids, because most men gusto jud sila na sila malahian. So ma-remember pud ata nako ni katong of course my experiences engaging with couples. I met someone na parang she was already on her second marriage, no? And then I asked her if my kids ba sila, kasi they were already in their late 40s. Sabi niya na wala daw, and then hindi din daw siya gina-pressure ng husband niya. It doesn't matter din, and then parang he loves me for who I am. He loves me more than parang having kids. Parang ganun. So sabi ko, maybe it really makes sense if mas devoted ang guy sa girl. Kasi even if parang biologically hindi niya mabigay yung children na the man would wish to, lang accepted. Kasi yan din kasi ang fear ko sometimes na pag I'm dating, if I'm not capable to have children, kasi ako 100% open to that. So I always disclose na I'm not really good with kids, or I like kids but I'm not really a big fan of them. So back then, I would wish sometimes na kung tanaw na to sa freedom and physical siguro no stature, I would say na I am not open to kids because baka yung parang mga superficial lang na baka tumaba ako ganito, and then I've earned my way of being so healthy and being fit, baka ganun, baka ma-compromise ko yung sacrifices ko.
Do you think being single now affects how prepared financially, emotionally you feel for future parenthood? Ako personally po, if ever man nga, dapat by the age of 30, as what I have mentioned, gusto na ko magkaanak, himon na ako tanan nga, financially, emotionally capable na ako, I'm on a stable mind, pero, gyapon na siya kanang, si tawagan na, taas pa kayo ang panahon, taas pa kayo ang karon up until my 30th birthday, nagkan pag mahitabo, but, I need just to work on that stability nga akong gusto.
For me, my current state is not a preparation for having kids or getting married.
Ipon me, para sa among life after wedding. We go vacation. Kanang dili mi gusto restricted me. Pero wala pa mi nag-ipon for kids. Okay, it's like a long time ipon. Forever responsibility. Yun. Kung lang, dili mi financially prepared for kids, pero financially prepared for a life together.
We're done with the kids subtopic on our podcast today. Next, let's proceed with on society and expectation. First question, how do you handle the when you're settling down? When are you settling down questions? So, when are you settling down questions?
Sina-answer kay after ni Kuya. Okay? Kasi nitawag na,
At least
dili
objective
pwede-
ka, no?
Dili pwede the same year. Sukobya. The same year. Then akong partner po, moingon po siya next year or next year. Mga mong plans in the next year or next year. Narana.
How do you balance cultural or family expectations with your own timeline? Ako.
Okay, may ano ka niya.
Oo, kay kaganiya man good. Yan akong papasa ko nga. Di naman ka maminyo. So murag na na ko nga, okay, dawat na nila. So, for me, kana nga motong going back pod sa katong question ganiha kung na-pressure ba ko, wala. Kay murag nanay mga hints akong parents sa kuha nga dili man ka maminyo, murag murag kanang they're assured na gid ba nga murag dili na gid ko mag-jump into marriage, I'll be not having a wife ana. So though na open up naman ako tong kid na adoption, hindi man pod sila sa idea. So maybe they're more confident in a way nga dili na kayon ko magdwell ana ang mga burdens in life. At to add it up na lang pod, na feel na ko ang sadness akong parents kung murag kon sila nga sila apo or wala sila ana ko nga silang pwede man nga nay apo pero wala asawa ana good. On dating now versus before. First question, what's different about dating now compared to our early 20s?
Kuan siya. Karon kay mas mature, for sure. And then, ang imong partner kay mas more patient and understanding. Kay katong 20s, even ako, naluglog ko yung lapses like prideful, kanang selfish of time, gusto nimo nga clingy, kanang gusto nimo nga
Ikaw
for me. Marga ba, world ako lang. I got past that stage na lahi ra di ang feeling if kamo duha you understand each other's time, you understand each other's timeline. Na, and then, example, sa mga karon kay, dili mi everyday. Sa una, gusto juga everyday mag-uban as much as possible. Pero karon kay, kapoy ko, sige, kapoy ka, uban, ang magkita. Kanay, anak, gani. Kanang no pressure at all. Mo nang, nindot gid kayo if mature relationship. And also, ang kanang conflicts, arguments, dali ra kayo ma-solve. Because, you choose your own battles and what to say, how to communicate, ana. Compared sa uno kay, you just listen but not hearing, like, imo lang pag, kung saan maka-provoke na word kay, karon kay, listen. Ang tibok context na, kay, tungod mature naman good. Nana kay sa right mind.
Okay. Makes sense.
Ako is, I'm speaking in behalf of myself and not other or mga nakadate na ko. Atong bata-bata pa ko, I would date a lot because I have the mindset na if it won't work, it's okay. I can find another person to date with. But now that feeling na ko, ako ang mindset na if I'm going to have a boyfriend, gusto ko siya na or second to the last na siya.
Karon.
Nakabalo if makakita ako tapos dili na mag-work, di ba? Pero sa una gyud, grabe magparamdam i-date gyud kung di mag-work dili then date na pod after a week kay dili mag-work ana ba ako ang mindset. Again, I'm speaking on behalf of me. So karon bantog dili na kay ko naga-date kay gusto na ko ang next relationship siya na or siya ang second to the last.
Preserving na the heartbreak.
Correct.
Dili po the heartbreak, but I feel like it's too exhausting already to date a lot of people or to be in a relationship of a lot of people. May
Sa perspective mo kasi nung early 20s mo, ginawa ko siya nung late 20s ko kasi yun lang yung time na I got the chance to do it because before hindi talaga ako serial date because I've always thought about
Pero baliktad, no? Bali ikaw sa una, ikaw tong murag kung mag-relationship ko dapat mauna ni.
Yes.
Ikaw na. Early
very
20s.
traditional ko eh. So I don't like to parang serial date. Gusto ko parang it comes to me. So when it happened naman, but however it failed. So doon ko na realize na I should always keep my options open.
Ako, murag, naambot lang, if na-ask na ko si Roach, I think ikaw ako na-ask ani if, are you the type of person na date to marry? Sa una man good, ako dili ko date to marry. But since you mentioned age, feeling na ko at my age, dapat naana sa ako mindset ang date to marry.
Hi! Welcome back!
Welcome back to
So, go here. Seitoku Izakaya sa may Ecolan area. I'll proceed now to the next question. Have your non-negotiables changed as you think more about the future?
Honestly, kay naay point sa life na ana sila lagi daw na maglista og negotiables and non-negotiables, diba? Pero naglista ko pero I didn't take it seriously. So wala ra sa ako kung na-change ba to or wala. Wala ko kabalo. Kay ako gilista, I can see it still in my notebook pero wala jud, I haven't prayed about it. Unsa man to, form of manifesting lang pero murag after I wrote it, relationship na ko ato next kay murag far from it. Pero ana gani so nganong nagsulat pa ko nga ako man day gihapon go man day gihapon ko.
Salutan.
Itong gahapon kay
Lami ra ba gyud ning karao? Ikaw, Rochelle, have you changed your non-negotiables now?
Yes, I guess through dating that's when you know kasi what you want talaga. It sometimes changes, especially going after relationships after another. Malaman mo talaga ano yung gusto mo. So parang yung ideal ko noon was ideal man. I also had a checklist. Nasa idea ko lang yun eh. Very idealistic ako back then. So when you get into the relationship, iba pa rin pala talaga. Ongoing pa rin siya kasi doon ko nalaman yung mga hindi ko pala gusto. Yun. So the list sometimes changes. Kasi sabi nila, yung items mo daw sa checklist mo, hindi lang dapat yan mag-reflect doon sa partner na gusto mo. But then dapat it also nag-reflect din siya of who you are.
Okay, wala ko'y concept of non-negotiable growing up sa relationship. In the first place, wala akong budgud ko nag-date on my early years of my life. So technically, wala ko'y kanang maingon nga, hindi ko gusto anak pa. Pero karon nga somehow murag ay natay person makaingon ko nga kay nako siya ginamind ang mga non-negotiables. So mo to wala siya nag-change kay wala man koy non-negotiables before.
Ako, honestly, I never heard about negotiables and non-negotiables until how many, mga 2 years ago. So, before good college, wala dyan ko kabalo na day, ana. So, muto, wala ko yung concept of negotiables or whatever. So, I think my non-negotiables are common sense. Should be not a murder. Ako, wala ko, ana.
Okay.
As okay, Jud. Ingon na, pero what if gay ang for you kay dili? Di ba? So that's why, sila, i-pray din daw mo imong list. Nga, mo ang plano po ni Lord sa imo.
My next question. Would you date someone who doesn't want kids? Yes or no?
Yes, as mentioned, hindi naman siya factor na you don't wanna date someone just because they don't like kids. Actually, sa akin, yun nga, green flag siya because meaning, hindi ako pressured as the woman to bear a child and conceive. Kasi nga, given na may complications tayo biologically, so at least, hindi siya masyado burden sa akin. So, yeah, what's important is yung partnership na ma-form mo. Kasi how are you able to raise a child? For me if parang I cannot bear kasi the thought of being a single parent kasi mahirap talaga siya. I really cannot afford it. So, yeah, it's a green flag for me kung ayaw niya ng kids.
Ako, kaya ganina ako ingon mo to. I just need the right partner. Di ba naman joy tao? Ganahan yun sila. I mean, ganahan yun magka-kids. Okay lang. Wala raw nag-matter sa ako. From the start, dapat, kung serious in your relationship, storyahan na dyan dapat na, di ba?
Yes.
Kung
Ako date, yes, pero long-term relationship, open man good ko to have kids. I'm not saying na able ko, pero open ko. So, date, yes, pero long-term, murag mas gusto ko guy na gunahan ng kids. Recently, nag-chat GPT ko o DNA matching. For me, before marriage, dapat na asay DNA matching.
like,
Kanang i-match ang inyong chromosomes and something.
kung
Kana
magka-abnormality yung child.
o kung able ang both.
Now, we're wrapping it up. So we're in the closing reflections part. So first, do you think being single in your 30s is something to fear, embrace, or both? For me, kay both. Something to fear because at this time of age, we need to have someone nga kanang ano na gyud nato kay para ahead ay para thinking of the future na pod. For me, mas maayo gyud nga by 30s na kay partner nga imuhang ma-term as sa tawag loved one kay para masugdan na pod nimo inyuhang pangandoy. So fear nga single ka sa imong 30s kay what if moabot ang panahon nga dili gyud gap wala day para sa imuha.
So in reality, people would perceive it as something to be fearful about. Especially siguro because of the social pressure and all. In my perspective also, since I don't like being uncertain, I don't think everybody wants that as well. But what I've learned lately is you have to surrender it and just enjoy the moment. But eventually in reality wise, no, it's also something we need to eventually embrace. As the movie also says, yung How to Be Single ni Dakota Johnson, so she's been in a relationship talaga all her life. So when she was single, parang hindi niya din alam how to navigate it. But yung ending ng movie, the gist was like, you have to enjoy the moments na single ka because you never know na it will be your last.
Karon, na lang.
No, being unmarried.
Dili siya fear. Kay, murag na siya sa kong updated timeline.
Secured pud ka sa imong partner.
Secured sad ko sa kong partner, yes. And then, sa society sa drone, kanang acceptable na being unmarried at 30. So, karon, it's something I embrace. Being unmarried is something I embrace. Double income, and then, no kids, and then, among lifestyle, ganahan kami sa among lifestyle, kay kanang capable, and then, among lifestyle, karon, mag-storya mi, parang hayahay gyud. Pero kung kami ra duha, lahi ang story if na kids.
Yeah.
Nako'y follow up atong ingon ni Ella, out of context siya. Pero let's say na financially capable na ka no, na you are able to provide for one. But do you see yourself na capable ka na din to share and sacrifice most of your incomes to nurturing the child?
Me, no. Selfish pa siya, pero no. Not yet. Feeling lang nako kay wala pa ako nag-enjoy enough being together. Ha? Kung single, ay nako. Hantod sa kanang may nag-jud mi na, humanami, nag-enjoy duha. Tara kids na ta. Ana. And also, murag selfish pud ko sa time. Dili magani ko mag-masters kay dili na ako kaya sacrifice akong free time na, di ba? So ganahan ko na wala ko yung responsibility at home na magdali. Wala pa ko na po eh. Mga na sila na senior na ka, imong kids kay pila pa edad.
Naisip ko din yan ba? Like, if ever man magka-kids ako, no? Maybe, sabi ko, like, dapat 2. So, kailangan ko habulin once once maka-conceive ako nung first. Then, na-realize ko na, kaya ko lang talaga siguro if the time permits, isa.
Akong isip, duhaman mi, di ba? Gusto na ko kung magkaanak ko kay Najoy pair. Ano may close mi sa akong kuya, I know na Najoy ko'y maduulan. Sorry Yel, pero akong tanang sa only child kay lonely ba? Diba? So that's why if ever, and also di ko ganala na middle child. Because sabi middle child syndrome. And then, basig lang masisi ko sa ako ang
Anak.
child ba? Wala ko kabalo ba yan? There's no perfect parents at baya.
Being an only child for all of my life, at first, lami kayo sa feeling kay ang kanang kung gusto nimo, though di mo ko na nakaspoil. Up until such time nga na-realize na ako akong responsibility sa akong parents. Look, kanang what if tigulang akong mama, papa, ako ramang giday isa na molded me to become the person I am today. Kay murag siya akong nahimong motivation para to do better. Kaya syempre, you don't have any other person to care for your parents, only you. Thankfully, and I'm really blessed of this, nga I can say na both of my parents are capable of their living.
Hindi ka na lagi na-apply.
Yes. If ever man nga motigulang sila, the personal care na aba ko dito, ako bagyod ang muamuma sila kay thankfully pod karon na maistoryahan na naman sa akong parents na nga mga challenges. Ito lang, sad lang ko sa tubag sa akong parents man. Girl, nahilak ko girl. Gabang ako mama, ibutang ako sa home for the aged. Ang point sa akong mama goro ato kay murag dili pod niya gusto nga maglisod ko, moabot na nga panahon. So,
Unsay mo kung ano ka gusto mag-adapt?
ako mong life, Joe, lahi mang good siya nga not the typical kind of life nga graduate, college, uyab, minyo, and wife. Oh, so, at least ang kanang anak nga cycle of life ma-attain na ko siya. Munang gusto na ko siya maybe because gusto po ko bata. Murag ang kanang responsibility ang makadisiplin sa ko.
More on responsible katungod kay you have a responsibility. Kay kung ikaw halawal, das dili
Muna yung tabo sa ko. Last question. How do you stay hopeful about building a family while still enjoying who you are now? I just see the brighter things of life. I always see the brighter things and approach problems as it is or approach problems as it comes.
Just take for the moment, enjoy the fruits of your labor, kanang buhata tanan unsay gusto nimo while imong responsibility kay imo lang self. But still, if you want na ay family, of course, discipline gyapon ka, dili ka wawara as a person. While living at the moment, enjoying, but enjoy responsibly.
Recently, I've been hopeless because I've gone through some stuff. But what I learned, I was in a situation na I don't have any hopes already, na parang it's better to not hope at all para hindi ka na lang ma-disappoint. I was put into my place. I was humbled by the situations I've currently gone through. So, ngayon, rather than dwelling on the things right now, parang yun ngayon na I'm just currently being in the moment na lang. Yung hindi lang masyado mag-overthink of the future. Kasi we'll never know talaga.
And that's it. So, these are the current struggles of our age na really timely na I always see nga we're not only the ones feeling this. We have collectively discussed or mentioned just live your life at the present.
Reminder lang for everyone na we are at different phases sa tong life doesn't mean na wala kasi mong timeline is you're behind. It's just iba ang timeline ng mga tao.
That ends our 4th episode sa Ang Walang Pangalang podcast. This has been Yel.
Ella,
Joe!
Raj,
See ya!